Hey everyone, welcome back in. So today I'm talking about a White Dwarf, like little blurb that I read. So this is White Dwarf 477, which was honestly a fantastic issue. I was behind in reading my White Dwarfs, and I've almost caught up, which is fantastic. But in the article, so that was the issue where it was the updated rules for the Khorne Berserkers, or for Khorne and like the World Leaders, where it was like the temporary increase in stats for them until the actual book came out, so that people could get the 2 wounds and it would be official. So when I was reading through the article, there's cool conversions. They talked about a lot about the Legion and like what would happen if they were united again, which I thought was really cool. I highly recommend reading that article if you haven't. But a one-off thing, and this is what's so funny that they mention in it that I didn't realize, is during the Horus Heresy, when they start putting in the Butcher's Nails into the World Eaters, essentially it was they had to like retro deconstruct the Butcher's Nails that was in Angron's head because they didn't have the STC template for the Butcher's Nails. So they were like, okay, well, if we take it out of his head, he'll die. So they did their best and over time constructed a version of it. It wasn't the true Butcher's Nails that he had, but it was good enough kind of thing. So it was tech priests and apothecaries that were doing this together because the tech priest was trying to reverse engineer the Butcher's Nails, and then the apothecary was installing it into the World Eaters' heads. So again, over time, obviously the Legion falls. They're not repairing their gear. They've lost their minds, but they still want to make more Berserkers. And as I'm reading the article on the White Dwarf, they mention Berserk Surgeons. Okay, so we're going to switch to this now. My apologies. So we got the Berserk Surgeon. Okay, so this is kind of a one-off thing where they're saying that like after the Horus Heresy, right? They don't like. They're not training new tech priests and new apothecaries, and they kind of become one thing where their essentially only job is to pump out new berserkers and to get those nails in the people's heads as fast as possible. So within the legions, many of them still just have straight apothecaries, but some of the legions and chapters have created different kind of roles. Like the Space Wolves have wolf priests, and they kind of change the apothecaries. There's certain chapters where the apothecaries are librarians, like they're chaplains combined. Like they'll do a couple other roles on top of being an apothecary. But hearing about this was crazy because I'd never heard that term before, Berserker Surgeon. And you can see here that there's a conversion here that someone has done. And again, this is just on Lexicanum, the Warhammer 40k, if you search Berserker Surgeon. So this conversion is the Primaris Apothecary, but just done up as a like World Eater. Perfect conversion, right? You got the red arm, still the white armor. Like, oh man, this is an unreal conversion. But seeing that, I'm like, why isn't there a model for that in the game? With the new stuff coming out for the World Eaters, this is like whatever they're getting this Christmas and in those boxes and everything else, that's going to be it for probably a long time. There may be a one-off character next time they redo the Codex, but realistically, it'll be like the Eldar kind of thing where within these smaller, like I wouldn't say smaller, but the Trader chapters don't really get new stuff specific to them very often, right? Like the Death Guard revamp was huge. The Thousand Sons, right? Like those are kind of one and dones. I know that the Death Guard have gotten more stuff over time, like new characters, but again, that's with a new codex, right? And that seems to be the consistent trend. So whatever we get for these World Leaders is probably going to be it for a while, other than these one-off drops. But I hope they do Berserker Surgeon. Like, why wouldn't they do this? It's in the White Dwarf. They're talking about it. This would be such a cool model, and you could have crazy bonuses as well. And the idea that these surgeons have kind of become tech priests as well, because they've had to attach mechanendrites that only a tech priest would usually use to like operate on the berserker to get the nails in there safely, basically as safe as you could call the procedure. But I love that idea, and I honestly never heard that before, right? So I'm hoping that we get this model, right? Like they should do this. They have to do like the special Terminators for the World Leaders as well, which they haven't previewed at all. And I'm assuming that they're going to get, right? Like I'm assuming they're going to get them because the Thousand Sons and the Death Guard both got their kind of Terminator variants. So the World Eaters should get theirs as well, but they're really kind of a smaller force, right? Even after that, I made the other video about extra things that the World Eaters could add on. So like a custom heavy bolter squad that's literally just a Khorne thing, or World Eaters unit where they've like amped up their heavy bolters and they fire faster or something. But they're shorter range, like something crazy like that, right? Where if you get in range of these things, you're going to get blown away, right? And there's a couple one-off things, again, from the Horus Heresy or other units they talk about that they could include, but we know we're getting Berserkers, we know we're getting Angron, and that's it right now. There's also that special character that's on the mount, but like those are the three things, right? So it's 2 characters in 1 unit right now, so we'll have to see what else we get. Let me know in the comments, have you ever heard about a Berserker Surgeon before? I haven't. I've been doing this for so long, I never heard about this. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from the upcoming release from the World Eaters. Are there things that I've forgotten to mention, whether you're like, oh, there's this unit as well? Because again, every single time I read a thing in a Horus Heresy, a one-off article in a White Dwarf, I'm like, let's get that model. Let's start being creative and using the things that they're talking about to make cool models. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.